Let's draw submarines.
It's time for another Go-Go Rocket Sheep.
Hello, and by popular demand, welcome to the Submarines edition of Go-Go Rocket Sheep. We're going to be drawing easy mode, medium mode, and hard mode submarines. So it's going to be fun. Let's go.
Easy mode. All right, so easy mode submarine. We're going to do this in a couple of ways. You start with a... Let's start with a rectangle. A nice long rectangle. Bloop, bloop. Nice. Okay, now on one end, we're gonna round that off like so. And on the other end, we're gonna make a point back here and we're gonna point it off. Nice. So the back, we have our rudders. So we're gonna put a line like this, and then it comes like this, and then over like that. On the bottom, it doesn't go down as low. Nice. Then we have our elevators, which is just going to be a little line right there. Of course, add the flaps there. Nice. Then we have a propeller, which is just going to be a circle with these little loops on it. Loop-de-loop. Kind of like that. There. That's better. Okay, then what we're going to do is on top of this, have a little section that goes and then back, like that. And then we have the tower at the front. I guess it kind of angles in a little bit like this, a little blob. Not quite that high. Let's try again, kind of like that. Nice. And then it has a section that comes up like this. We can erase that there. And then there are the little control-y things at the front. So from this angle, it's just straight across. Kind of hard to make out some of these details. But we'll add them. Okay, then they have like stuff on the side, like a little bump, which just will kind of look like that. Then they have torpedo tubes, 2, 3, 4, there we go. And then you cut it in half. This is the kind of like the water line for when it floats. And the bottom will be painted one color, and the top will be painted another color. I guess the propeller probably shouldn't go that high, because I don't think the propeller on a submarine ever comes out of the water. Nice! That was pretty easy. Easy mode submarine. That was from the side. Let's see if we can do it from the front. So from the front, we have a circle. And then we're going to have those torpedo tubes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Then you're going to have this little bump part, which is this part right here. And then the tower with the little bridge. I don't know why they call it a bridge, but when they're above water, that's when they would see. Oh, there's a little hatch on top too. Bloop. Probably be a little lower than that. And then we have those elevators, or whatever they're called, the control things on the front. And then the back tail. So that's kind of what it would look like from the front. From the back, we would have the propeller. Bloop, 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 bloop. Then we would have the fin. One big one little one. The elevators, which kind of need to come out pretty far. Oh, and then we have forgot to put this little bump apart. Then we would have the backs of the hull, a little circle, which kind of comes to this point. Then we'd have the bump on top. Then we'd have the tower with those elevators. Then we'd have the bump on the side. So there we have our kind of side view, front view, and back view of our submarine. Once you have your pencils down, and hopefully if you're drawing on paper, you're drawing lightly with pencil, your initial sketch. Then, of course, what you do is you ink it, keeping the lines that you want to keep. Then you get rid of your pencils using an eraser or digitally just muting the layer, and then you can color it to your heart's content. All right, there are our easy mode submarines. So I colored digitally. The top is kind of like a bluish gray, and the bottom is like a grayish red, a dusty red. And then the propeller is gold, because that's the colors of all the submarines in my Google. So anyway, yeah, I like how that turned out. Medium mode. All right, for the medium mode submarine, we're going to draw kind of a 3D take on a submarine from my childhood. At least I think it's from my childhood. When I was a kid, we had these Lego sets, and they were submarines. And I'm pretty sure they probably weren't super realistic or close to what actual submarines look like, but I thought they were cool. So I'm going to try to remember this Lego set, and we're going to turn it into a medium mode submarine. It's kind of more of like a research submarine. So it starts with the capsule where your little dude sits, and that's a circle. We're going to do this line here because it's going to be kind of defined. On the underside, we have 2 circles. These are lights. Then basically you have a sort of a box, like a big 3D rectangle that kind of comes behind it. Okay, nice. Now behind that rectangle is a big propeller, which is it's ducted. Now that I'm even thinking about this, I don't think this would work because of how boxy this is. So maybe we need to cut that box into a shape like this. Okay. Then we have our ducted propeller. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, it comes around like that. Bloop, bloop. Okay. Nice. Then I think there were propellers kind of in the top and the bottom that were meant to suck it up direction or down. Okay. Propeller. So then this would have to be attached like that. This would have to be attached like that. Okay. Okay. I think they had... So that was like up, down, forward. It had fins on the fan that could make it go around. Steer it. Okay. There's a big light on the side. I already have these ones on the underside. What else was on this thing? I know that it had an arm, which would have come out from the side. Me. This is the Lego arm. We'll just make it look like this. Typical robot arm. Would there have been a one on each side? Probably. Kind of looks like a crab. Okay. There would have been... It gets dropped into the water from a ship. So there would have been like a hard point here. Something to hook onto. We should make the interior a little bit. So it's kind of like this. There's a little chair in there. Well, in the Lego set, it would have just been like a Lego guy sitting in there, but we'll make it a real person sitting in there. Stick leg, stick arm. They'd have some sort of control panel, I'm sure. Maybe on each side. But you don't want to interrupt their view. Nice. Okay. Then we would need ballast tanks, which fill up with water to sink and expel water, and we'll put those on the bottom. Sort of like that. And then maybe oxygen tanks. At this point, I'm just making it up. Because the main parts of this that were Lego inspired, I'm pretty sure it's going to be yellow. It had this little bulb at the front, and then it had a big propeller at the back. Okay. Now we just need to add things to make it look. Maybe there's like a camera on the front over here, and then cameras on the side. When I draw a camera, I just do a circle with a little bump. That's the lens, and then the body of the camera like that. So I'm just adding those kind of everywhere. Blurp. There we go. There we go. Maybe there's a flag here. Add your country. Nice. Okay. That looks like... It looks like a medium mode submarine. Let's ink it and color it up. Make it happen. There are, of course, other ways to draw things from your imagination. You don't have to start with light pencils on paper and then ink and then color. You don't have to do that. But that is the way that I have found that I can get my drawings to look the way that I want. And the more time that I spend on it, the better that it looks. Sometimes I get asked, how long does it take me to make these videos? So usually I spend at least an hour or two on the easy, medium, and hard mode. And then I spend about another hour editing it together and putting it together. So about 3 hours total. Now, when you're making like a work of art, your masterpiece, 3 hours is not a lot of time. Obviously, people spend days and weeks and months on paintings that they want to turn out just the way they want to turn out. So anyway, another reason why I like drawing pencils and then inks and then color is because it's fast. There is my medium mode, loosely based on my imagination of what a Lego submarine kind of looked like. But in reality, this submarine would not work at all. But that's okay. Hard mode. For hard mode, I decided to draw the interior of a submarine. I got a new quill pen, and I think that's what it's called, a quill pen, because I wrecked my other one, and I just wanted to try it out, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I like the outlines, and then I painted the whole thing with washes of ink, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Extra credit!
Extra credit is simple this time. Find a reference photo that is complicated with tons of details, like lots of wires and screens and buttons and whatever. Really complicated reference image, and just draw it as best as you can.
Art you sent in!
Thanks so much to everybody who sent their art in. I love taking a look at it. If you want to send your art in, you can send it to gogomockrocketcheap@gmail.com, or you can just tag me in social media and I'll find it that way and I'll put it in next week's video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.